سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: أرسل ملك الموت إلى موسى فلما جاءه سكه ففقع عينه، فرجع إلى ربه فقال: أرسلتني إلى عبد لا يريد الموت. قال: فرد الله إليه عينه وقال: ارجع إليه فقل له يضع يده على متن ثور، فله بما غطت يده بكل شعرة سنة. قال: أي ربي ثم ما؟ قال: ثم الموت. قال: فالآن. فسأل الله أي موسى أن يدنيه من الأرض المقدسة رمية بالحجر. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: فلو كنت ثم لأريتكم قبره إلى جانب الطريق تحت الكثيب الأحمر. So this is the most amazing hadith from Abi Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that Malik al-Maut was sent to Musa alayhi salam. So when Malik al-Maut came to Musa alayhi salam, and we know that Musa was a very strong and able-bodied human being, and he had the power of, as is mentioned, prophets have the strength of 40 men. So Musa also previously, as we know from the Quran, that when there was a fight and there was a altercation between a Qibti and one of the Bani Israel, so Musa gave him one punch and that was it. He was gone. So when Malik al-Maut came to Musa, so Musa wasn't happy with that and gave him a punch also, and put out the eye of Malik al-Maut, because the angel, when he comes to take his soul, so he probably came in the shape of a man, right? So Musa alayhi salam gave him a punch and it destroyed his eye. So this angel went back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said, Ya Allah, you sent me to a person who doesn't want to die. He said, okay. So go back to Musa alayhi salam and tell him to take his hand and place it on the top of a bull, matn thawr, on the back of a bull, and for every hair that he is able to grab on the back of that bull, so for every hair he gets an extra year to live. So Malik al-Maut went back and told Musa, okay, this is the proposition we have for you. This is the the solution to the problem. Okay. So Musa alayhi salam said, okay, so I do that, and then what? He said, then maut. He said, okay, if that's the way it's going to be, then may as well be now. So he said, okay, let it be. So he said, but let me, and this is the point where we had the connection to the Ard al-Muqaddasa, Bayt al-Maqdis. So he said, okay, but, and as you know now, Musa alayhi salam is with Bani Israel, and they are now in what is known as the T. They are in, the wilderness of Sinai. And because of their disobedience, as we heard in Surah Baqarah again and again and again, so they were now, they were stopped, from entering into the promised land, which is al-Maqdis, with Bayt al-Maqdis and al-Quds. So for 40 years they were roaming around and not able to go there because of their disobedience. In the meantime, this is when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam passed away. So actually he never reached to that destination. However, at the time of his death, he said, oh Allah, then okay, so I have to die, but let me die at least one stone's throw closer to Bayt al-Maqdis. Right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, granted him that wish. And so Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions that if I were there, or if we had been in that place, because apparently Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shown that place perhaps on the night of Isra and Mi'raj or any other time. So Rasulullah knew that place. And Bani Israel, even until now, they don't know exactly where Musa is buried. And that's probably all the better. So Nabi Sallallahu mentions it's on the side of the path, on the side of the road, under the small mound of red sand. So that was the landmark for that place. So in any case, so Musa alayhi salam, even though he didn't reach, to Al-Quds and the Ard al-Muqaddasa, but he wanted to die at least one stone's throw closer to it. So again, highlighting, the importance and the sanctity and the holiness of that place, in the hearts of, all the preferred slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Anbiya alayhimu salatu wasalam, and in the heart of every mu'min, as we keep emphasizing now, that place. And so therefore the pain and the distress that we should be feeling, and our very sincere du'as to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it should be returned, to the people who are its rightful heirs and its rightful custodians. Ameen thumma ameen wa akhira da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.